It is time for part 3 up to End a Curse, and the party is starting to put the pieces together about the truth behind this house and its occupants. What more will they uncover as they continue to explore?
The judge of the damned will be kind to you, as he walks away.
Ooh.
I like that. I will edit so that happens after as he's walking away.
Instead of all our nonsense talking.
Excellent.
That'll be the uncut patron only version. I have to do something with the Patreon, okay?
Amazing.
Now that you are done dealing with your skeletons, and they're still kind of dissolving on the floor a little bit, like dissolving into dust, not like just being dissolved by acid dissolving.
Dissolving into no longer being rendered by the video game.
It's more like they're so old that they can finally get away. And you realize you're kind of, it's like in a private study almost. There's a desk against one wall. You've got some bookshelves that are oddly empty. And there is another door kind of over here. And what do y'all do?
I must have known we were coming.
To use my fabulous eyes to look around. Not the undead ones, but the normal ones.
Detect magic.
Likewise.
Kramer's just
Yeah.
shouts, "You see that? They took care of your bonies, so you might as well come out and we can do that to you too."
You just hear a chuckle a bit. It makes your blood run a little cold. You may play it off, but it's not a friendly enough.
11.
You see it looks like there's some papers on the desk, and there might be some stuff in the drawers if you kind of want to look around there, but it doesn't seem like there's anything hiding. And keep wanting to say bye. You can still detect the remnants of necromancy from the skeletons. You can also tell this room seems like to be warded in a way against something, at least on one side. It looks like the warding might have fallen down on the other side, but you get the feeling someone was trying to keep the undead out of this room, but it failed on the side facing the door you haven't gone through. So that might have been how the skeletons got in there. You just still don't know why they were there. And it feels different than what was on the entry door, like someone else did this.
Papers that I see, I would like to draw other people's attention to them and say, let's see if we can find any information on where these people sleep. I don't know if the papers are going to help us with that. Orders for the delivery of a coffin to the basement or something specific like that. I don't know. Worth a shot.
Who sleeps in your basement?
Vampires.
Vampires. Vampires do.
Not necessarily.
Vampires.
They have to sleep near dirt.
Yeah.
True.
Work around.
That's true. They can move it around. And they
Also
can literally
courtyard.
ship the dirt that they have to sleep in, like,
We
to
didn't
somewhere
really
else.
explore it all.
Although they can move the dirt off.
The courtyard we didn't explore almost at all.
That is true.
Mostly because a lot of the exploring
Yeah.
would have involved touching things that would either make you sick or leave you not wanting to touch anything else like ever again because everything hurts.
Kramos, while everyone's reading things, because he can't read, tries to open the next door and just see what's in there too.
Do you push or pull?
Varys tried to help.
I'm gonna push this one.
It opens and it's like kind of like a little private sitting room. Like there's a little table and some chairs. Not a lot there. Roll perception. Investigation.
Oh, 20, flaccid 20.
You can see, kind of looks like footprints on the floor, but looks like they're caused by the skeletons walking through there.
Kramos is gonna sit down and light a cigar while everyone's looking at stuff.
You do that.
Varys would have tried to help with the investigation of the desk and the papers, but I got a 6, so not super helpful.
You don't find a lot. You spend most of the time trying to get a drawer open before you realize that
Makes
it was
sense.
more of a decorative thing, not an actual drawer.
It happens to me a lot in real life, actually. So yeah, that tracks very well.
Same. What did everyone else get?
For investigation?
Investigating the desk.
Ooh. I got 5, so
I blacked out momentarily and came back.
that or Yin's kind of tugging on my hair or something. I was like, you okay?
Yin has somehow got tangled up in her hair and it's a little
Yeah.
distracting. So you have to spend the next 5 minutes trying to get the dragon out of your hair. With the skeletons, he kind of crawled into the back of your hood and was freaking out a little bit. Now he's tangled.
I was like, okay.
Which this happens sometimes, so you're just like, okay, calm down, we got this.
I got a 15 for investigation.
Languages are you can do common and druidic, and is there an infernal, right?
A common, druidic, and infernal.
You can read some of the stuff, not all of it. I mean, you might no, you probably wouldn't. Yeah,
Which
so
which
you
of
can-
those 3 languages is she recognizing it? Because if she's recognizing
We need to be
infernal,
real.
Recognize.
No, it's common.
oh,
It's in common, but there's some stuff that's in another language, and her character with her background wouldn't have any reason to recognize where the letters might be from. And just because you can't speak a language doesn't mean you can't kind of look at it and think, I think that's this. But she was literally raised by wolves, so
Yeah.
I don't think she...
Druid wolves.
Yeah.
Yes, druid wolves.
You mentioned that there is stuff that is not legible that someone
Yeah.
else might know a language for.
Yes.
Can anyone read this?
I will go over
Yes,
and
Undercommon,
apply
Elvish?
Undercommon as another addition to the multiple choice. Do you know the right language?
Some of it's in Elvish.
Elven.
It makes sense because the couple were Elven. So a lot of kind of what you're looking through seems to be ordinary sort of housekeeping stuff, like notes on business, things that need to be upgraded in the house. But you do notice, those of you who pay attention to dates in any way, shape, form, or fashion would notice a lot of these are at least a couple hundred years old. But they don't look like it when you're looking at it. It's just the dates that tell you none of these papers are from the past 100 years. It looks like it was just written yesterday.
I might ask about the dates, as they are a good gauge for
Probably about
strength.
100 to 200 years.
Yeah.
He checks his stakes, makes sure they're sharp. He's like, this is gonna be a rough one, guys.
It's gonna be fun. I think we can do it.
oh, if it's anything like them bonies, we'll be fine.
So there was nothing else in the room that Kramus went into, and we don't seem to have the correct languages to read the stuff on the desk.
And the stuff that's in Elvish and some of the stuff's in common, you find some things, as you read it, even though you know the language, what it's saying just doesn't make any sense. It's rambling on about the weather, just a lot of non sequitur stuff. And Sarah, how much attention are you paying right now?
I'm going to assume you said me, but you cut out a little bit for me.
Are you also kind of looking at some of these papers?
Yeah, I think maybe as best I can with everyone else around the desk.
All perception.
Boop. That's an 11.
You catch a glimpse of something as someone is setting a paper down. I meant if anyone makes kind of this makes sense. As they're setting it down, you catch a glimpse of it, and you swear it looks kind of like a slightly outdated version of Thieves' Cant.
Okay.
You may not get all the words perfectly, but something you could make sense of. To anyone else, it just looks like just complete random ramblings.
Upon seeing that, Ezra would kind of... hold on 1 second. What's this? And pick up at least that page.
You see, it seems to be almost kind of like a journal entry. As you're reading through it, it's written in a similar masculine handwriting to what you saw in the notes earlier. Except for it's a little cleaner, but it looks close enough. And as you're reading through, it's talking about how he's switching to this because he doesn't know who all knows about something that's going on, but takes notes about something's not quite right, and he's trying to figure out what's going on. He doesn't want to believe that it is what he thinks is, so he's going to do some research, but he's very afraid that he might be right about what's going on with the disappearances in the town.
Okay.
And it's also dated a couple hundred years ago.
Right. So then Ezra would kind of relay that information to the group.
Has anyone heard anything of disappearances happened in the town recently? I know these dates aren't current, but are more people disappearing recently?
I have no idea. That sounds like the kind of thing that I would be paying attention to.
History?
I gotta know. I don't know.
If your character's been in this town for longer than like a couple of weeks, you could have advantage because you may have been able to like pick up more. But for those of you who haven't been here super long, you just straight history.
I'm not even gonna try.
I got an 18 on that.
I live in the woods. I don't care what happens here.
Ezra got a 15.
15.
10.
And Kremos, what'd you get?
I love it.
0.
All right.
A 1
so,
minus 1.
oof.
Very fitting.
So Varys and Ezra, you don't remember hearing any particular people going missing, but you, especially you, Varys, just because you've spent more time on the streets. You do remember that there are some others who lived on the street who've you haven't seen in a while.
Okay.
It's people no one would particularly miss, and you probably didn't even think much of it yourself, because sometimes people just they move along or get a job somewhere and maybe decide to start sleeping in different alleys. But now you're starting to wonder if maybe they were lured here for something. You do find some more things that match that, and it sounds like the disappearances that were happening in that time are happening a lot more often, and they wasn't as much people, no one would notice.
It's urchins and
yeah,
but
but for this one it might be a worker goes missing, or kid had a fight with her parents and no one has seen her since, but he's I don't think she actually ran away. I think I saw someone that looked like her.
Okay.
And something about she's being more secretive. I don't know how to find out for sure, but I can't let this keep going on.
Well, with that, I think Varys would sort of realize that there might be some potential more victims that might still be here, and having remembered the basement, I think that's going to become a priority of his, finding a staircase down or some entrance into the basement, because it seems like we're a dungeon or a barracks, or not a barracks, a jail cell or something would be like that.
Kremos, not realizing anything that's being put together, is just Oi, Varys, why don't we call Stamos in on this job? We haven't had him around in a bit.
And that would click, be well, Kremos, I think Stamos might be here somewhere, or hopefully they're still alive. Have you noticed how people have gone missing on the streets recently?
Oh yeah, there was Stamos, there was John.
There was that yogurt guy.
There was Elton.
How long have you guys been in the city again?
I'd say for a little while, long enough to have these few connections and know this.
Yeah, we're the underbelly of this city.
The more you think about it, you get the feeling this might have been going on for a while, and just no one questioned it, because sometimes people just go missing. But you've been in other cities, and it's not quite like this.
Yeah. Now that I think about it, Kremos, I think we might be the next in a long line of people to disappear. So
we're not disappearing. We're right here, mate.
I cast past that a trace. And no, we are disappearing. No, I'm just kidding. I don't.
Wait, can't you poof to shadows, or can you not do that yet?
One of the reasons I chose this class is because you can poof to shadows. I thought you got that at 5, but you get it at 6. And then I was like, I'm too deep into this, but hey, whatever.
Hard.
Because that would have been great, just
yeah. So basically Varys would kind of piecing this together. People going missing. I'm more urgent now.
It's becoming more urgent.
Yes.
Words.
Well, Ezra, Andre, I mean, we worked with you lot before. Have you noticed anyone else and maybe some of your other jobs gone missing?
To be fair, I don't really pay a whole lot of attention. You two are kind of characters. It's a little bit more memorable than some of the others.
Should I roll something to...
Well, yeah, roll history.
Okay.
I mean...
10.
Yes, but I don't know.
Because, like, you haven't been here for super long. I feel like there might be some people who have kind of disappeared. You can't really use any of it. Also, like, in different cities, like, you know that you're listing off people. It's not common for that many people to just kind of disappear without anyone really questioning it or any kind of sign.
Well, Grimos, I've not been here that long. As you remember, I go to different towns to fulfill different missions. But usually there's not this many people who have disappeared, especially without anyone else knowing as to where they went or what happened.
Huh. Well, I don't like this one bit.
Also, Colas? Is your tribe the kind that would, like, if they found someone lost in the woods, would, like, try and help them?
Try and raise them as their own.
I mean, they took me in. If they were, you know, old enough to be someone in a town, they would try and shepherd them back there. If they were real young and looked like they'd been abandoned, we might take them in.
Do you remember over the last couple of years, like, there have been occasional times when you'd find someone lost and injured and help them and take them back to town, and there were some that you might have kind of wanted with, like, at least to a certain extent, maybe, like, helps tend to them, so you, when you came back, thought maybe you'd be able to at least see one of them, is to, like, ask them for help with the problem that you've been having, because it was more recent and they seemed genuinely concerned. You haven't been able to find them, and anyone who does know of them says, like, oh, we haven't seen them in a while.
Talking about disappearances,
Well,
I may or may not have had a bizarre similar encounter just after getting the invitation for this. Was looking around for a shorter term job, and somebody said that they were missing a friend who had gone into the woods. I go into the woods, try to track them down, find nothing, I come back and they aren't there either, and I had been stiffed. So, that's partially why I was so gung-ho about this job. Make up for lost time, lost money, but yeah.
right, so we've got people missing. We can't get out of this
Let's
building.
keep moving.
We got a voice talking to us from the sky. And we got more rooms to check out.
Yes.
Let's keep our wits about us.
Just really quickly, just to make sure that we're not getting anything tricky.
Does the door out of this room, having seen it from the other side, would we know if it was, like, overgrown with the poison plants?
Not enough to where you wouldn't be able to, like, kind of force your way through the door and just very carefully step. But you also, like, you know, if you kind of backtrack a bit, you can get back to the main hall.
If there was an opportunity to go through this door, I think Varys would definitely try to go through the door.
Oh, you're gonna try and force your way through the door?
If with my brother's help, if he's so inclined. I point at the door.
And you point me at it, I open it.
Alright, so we doing push or pull?
Gramos, this one might slide up like a garage door. Have you ever thought about that one?
Pulling this one. He grabs onto the bottom of the door and starts yanking up with all of his might.
Just shatters and crumbles.
Roll strength?
Oof.
It was a 16.
You push up hard enough, like, it's starting to, like, break the hinges a bit, but the door's still there.
Gramos.
Oh, it's stuck, brother. I've got to keep trying.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Keep trying, brother. You're getting...
And Kramos is just gonna continue till he rips it all the way off.
Roll it under strength check.
I'm so proud of you, brother.
Oh, fuck yeah, not 20.
Yeah.
I'd like to think Kramos creates the slot for the door to like slide into.
My
I
brother.
don't know if you're quite strong enough to like insert a slot in wood, but you do completely shatter the hinges, and I'm gonna roll a d6. Odds it falls towards you, evens it falls out. I rolled a 1, it falls on, the door just tips back onto you.
Yeah, Kramos just like lifts it up over his head and he's like, "All right, door's open. I'll hold it open for everybody."
Hold the door, brother.
There's like dangling poison vines just kind of now blocking the doorway that are still stuck on the bottom of the door where you uprooted them.
Ah, right.
Definitely try to slice those with my sword and clear a path through if we can.
Make an irritating sword.
Oh, yeah. Yes. I'm lowering the grade of my sandpaper sword.
I was gonna make you roll for like, yeah, it's fine.
Oh, thank you.
It would just be really embarrassing if you
It
missed
would.
that.
Kramos, I'm sorry I cut your face off.
It's all right. Not the first time.
Not the first time. I do hit.
It's a good thing your brother is so forgiving of all the things you've accidentally done to him.
Most of the scars are from me.
Right.
Purely accidental.
Turns out Kramos didn't want any tattoos. Paris gave them all to him while practicing.
Sorry, brother.
Uh,
And unless anyone else wants to do anything else, I would try to safely move to the other door and get ready to start opening that one too.
Is there any way I can help get across the overgrown poison
I would love
garden? It's my ranger-ness.
Do you have like a sword or anything?
Technically, I have 2 short swords. They are in my inventory. They are not equipped.
Reaction to.
If you have the 2 short swords, you could like use those to like safely hack a path. You've probably had to do that before. You try and not do that, but sometimes like just some things need to be trimmed back a little bit.
Mhm.
I'm just gonna let you do it.
Nice.
If you're able to sort of like clear the more dangerous ones out of the way, as well as some ones that would cause some irritation. Maybe skewer a bug or 2.
Okay.
You're able to find your way back into the dining hall, and you see once again there is a piece of paper on the table.
Oh,
Who's gonna read this time?
I'm by the other. So yeah, I wouldn't even see it.
I will.
Kramos and Maris are by the other door.
Go for it.
I'm in the courtyard with them.
Wait, are you not going into the dining hall? Or are you going in here?
That was the trajectory, but if someone else wants to do something else, that's
I mean, some of you are welcome to just sort of like poke your head into the dining hall and notice the paper.
Yeah, I'll poke my head in just to see.
Well, what's your passive perception?
12. Yin's is 13, but I just read she has keen senses.
She may not realize exactly what it is, but it's kind of a... You just hear her little voice in her head. Look on the table.
Yeah. Table?
You can check that out.
Okay. Yeah. Table? Okay. So I'll go look on the table.
And you see a note, and it says, "One last step before you go downstairs. Check the master bedroom. You need the full story."
Everyone? The person who's been leaving us this note has another one for us. It's in the same hand that we found in the study. It says, "Before you go into the basement, check the master bedroom. You need to know the full story."
It'll specify that it's upstairs.
Okay, the upstairs master bedroom.
This sounds like a distraction.
Shall we knock on this door over here?
We've been getting the runaround this entire time. Now
So-
it seems like we're getting close. And
They run around or just running around.
little column A, little column B.
Let's check these rooms and let's get on upstairs then.
Sure. Here, Ezra and Andrew will go here, and then if Kramos and Varus are still at that door, maybe we can open both.
Kramos pulls.
Like, police kicks the spot on the door handle. Doesn't even bother. Is it in or is it out? Doesn't matter. Kick.
This door right here, the one in the courtyard, it's locked. But if anyone's trying to open this door, it does open. And it's a kitchen.
I'd probably run back and poke my head out to see them and be like, if you find the stairs to the basement, I wouldn't suggest we go down them quite yet. At least not until we're all together.
Perfect, yes. As he has his thief tools in the lock trying to pick it, and I got a 17.
Okay. Pick it. Takes a second, but you do it.
Cool.
Give me more pride, brother.
Kick it open unnecessarily.
Enemies are doors in this campaign.
We're the
It is.
opposite of Vox Machina.
Still doesn't notice that.
Doors and surfboards.
Okay, hang on. So you're in the storeroom. As you look around, there's some remnants of food left, but it's all really old. This is another room that looks at least sort of dusty and let's say Olus, Andrew, Tramos, and Varys, roll me perception.
That's going to be an 18.
Okay.
It's gonna be
Okay.
a 5.
12.
You don't notice anything.
18.
You notice the smell of blood. It's not fresh. It's kind of faint, but you do smell the scent of blood. Actually, Ezra, you can roll 2, because you might also, with your background, kind of recognize it. Andre, I don't know if you would be familiar with the scent.
No. I got a 7.
You're too busy just hoping this group doesn't accidentally lead you into a trap?
Yeah. And maybe we're near the vomit corner from her.
I mean, you're in a completely different room.
Oh, we're in the dining room, right?
No, we're over here.
Yeah. That's
So it's not that
the
far.
dining room.
Oh yeah,
right?
y'all go. Yeah, you were part of the group that went into the kitchen. So only the people that went into the little storeroom would notice that.
Okay.
Mm.
So
That explains it.
It doesn't smell fresh, but it's like something happened within a couple of weeks or months.
Right. You guys find anything over on your end?
Yes.
Not really. We found.
It's a nice looking kitchen. Everything's in working order, but it doesn't look like there's been any actual food in there for a very long time. So it kind of makes you wonder where in the world the food from the dinner table came from.
Right. I guess we gotta go upstairs now.
It's one more room
Might as well.
that came off of the side of the entryway. Do we need to dig around a little bit more in the pantry area?
In this
Yeah.
storeroom.
Yeah, the storeroom over here to see what's going on.
It's just a bunch of old food.
Yeah, but we got a scent of something. Do we need a follow up? You got a scent of something. I was distracted in another part of the house. But
Anyone in the storeroom, roll investigation.
now I am in the storeroom, so
we should do the other ones as well.
nice. That's a flaccid 20.
Yeah.
9.
I want that term to become ubiquitous.
Yes. Flaccid 20, baby.
investigation. 15.
Okay. And who else was in there?
Yeah, Kramos is back in the hall, the main hall.
Okay,
In the
so
room.
it takes a minute and some reorganizing things, but you do find a trap door. And
Ooh.
do you open it?
Sus. That goes down.
No.
Let's not do that quite yet.
Yes, let's go find the master
Bedroom
bedroom.
first.
Yeah.
That's not my voice. That's not my voice. What? Bedroom first.
I feel that struggle.
Alright.
Shall we check out this probably secondary coat room over here? It's probably a bathroom. Who knows?
Feel free. This isn't me trying to tell you not to do that. Varys will probably just stand by the staircase waiting for you guys to. If anything, he'll show up. But
The stairs after us.
yes.
I
So-
can't move again. It keeps not moving me again.
I just thought you liked that room back there.
So, he's gonna open the door.
Right.
Correct.
I got it.
Okay. I will help.
Oh.
If you are trying to do anything of the strong variety with the door, I will lend a
Thank
hand.
you for that. You gave me another nat 20.
Which
I was
direction?
Yes.
pushing. You gave me another nat 20 to push this door open.
It pushes open with no problem, and actually, like, it hits the wall, and you hear the sound of, like, plaster crumbling, and you're not entirely sure you're going to be able to get the door out of the wall. It's kind of embedded in there. And you're in what just looks like a butlery. There is a table in the center with some drawers in it. There's some like paper scattered. It does look kind of dusty, and there is a door over here, which if you open it leads into another kind of empty in between
Like little
space.
butler hall.
The papers on the table just kind of look like they're like a list of like directions and orders for things, but if y'all want to investigate.
I'd like to try to investigate those papers to see. Again, I'm looking for telltale signs of sleeping quarters for vampires of a variety of shapes and sizes. That is an 11. That is not very high.
This kind of seems like ordinary instructions. There's some things that are like, yeah, that's kind of odd, but nothing that points you to where they might be sleeping.
Okay.
While everyone's looking around, Ezra's gonna pull a patch out of his robe and slap it on the wall near the front door. And I'm gonna use that window patch.
Okay. Are you trying to see if you can see out the window?
Yeah, I'm trying to create a window where there is not one.
I'm gonna go with him.
Very cool.
Just gonna watch.
Let's see, 2 feet by 4 feet up to 2 foot deep.
How big are you making it?
As big as I could.
Does it specify if it can be open or anything when you make it, or is it just like it poofs into existence?
It just says a window, which you can place on a vertical surface you can reach.
He just pulled a window out of his pocket and slapped it on a wall.
Hey, he solved it. We're out of here, boys.
Right. And so after you do that, for a couple of seconds, like you can actually see out into the night sky and you can see trees, but very quickly, before you can move to open the window or anything, glazes over with the gray and you hear the voice again. She sounds really angry. It's like, oh, that's no fun. You guys are taking too long. There's no cheating in my game.
That doesn't sound ominous at all.
And there is no rushing in ours. Shall we go upstairs, fellows?
Of course.
Before I head up, I would like to look at that alarm that we found earlier. Is it still deactivated?
It doesn't feel active, but there's not much point in having an alarm when your door's not actually a door. It's kind of on the threshold, so it's still there.
Okay. I wasn't sure if it was an alarm for the door or for something else. Alright. Yes, let's go.
Alright, so
All right. I'll lead the way. And Kramos keeps his vest open with his hand, like ready to pull.
Up the stairs.
alright, so second floor. So you come up. Things are ignore the weird grid stuff.
Well, upstairs.
Heather.
It's a very small upstairs.
Colas, you let out your wild side.
Collis, you got ginormous. Is this a druid thing? Or a tiefling thing?
There we go. That's a much better scale. It may not be perfect. So, I think the stairs will actually bring you up around here. Hang on, let me get the rest of you up. So, it's like there's kind of a catwalk.
Oh, that's okay. That's what that is. Excellent.
Yeah, so it's like a little catwalk hallway, and there's doors to the rooms.
Got it.
Really mundane, just
Excellent.
knock on the door.
Okay.
Everyone on here.
At some point, how do I ping?
Are
as a
you
player?
talking
Can I
right
do that?
right here?
Press Alt. Ah, click and hold. Got it. There. This one over here.
Sorry, I'll stop pinging so it makes clear what you're doing.
Yeah. So you open the room and it just looks kind of like an ordinary guest bedroom. Doesn't look like it's been slept in a while. Might be a little dusty. Not as dusty as some of the other rooms, but you're welcome to investigate.
Maybe we should
That's like a
spread
map.
out and just
Yeah,
open all the
okay.
doors at once.
I like the way you think.
That sounds like a fun idea.
All right.
And it's you all would be able to kind of see each other. And just for context, these little rooms up here
Okay.
are
Cool.
kind of like little servants' quarters.
Is this
They exist.
is this a room?
Did
There
I
we
not
go.
get you on here?
Exist.
Oh, Andrew!
There we go.
Andrew can fly.
Alright, I thought I got everyone.
Just appear in the middle of the air above the dining hall, and I'm like, oh no!
He's a vampire! Get him! He's become the very thing he swore to destroy.
Okay, I think I might just kind of hand wave past the rooms. You see, like, maybe find like a couple like pieces of paper, notes from people. It looks like from different people who've been there. Leftover clothing that looks like it's from a variety of cities, anywhere from like poor people, rich people. Some of it looks like it's in tatters. Others looks a little newer. The kind of rattier looking clothing does look newer. So it looks like maybe some of the people who went missing, especially like those of you who know specific people who did go missing, you find signs that they might have been staying in one of these rooms. But there's no sign that they've been there recently.
How far down is it to the first floor?
One flight of stairs, and also there is a door here.
Yeah, I was about to.
To do a ping for the master bedroom.
So all of these rooms were guest
That's
So
bedrooms.
not
we check-
outdoors. And find like
Oh, lads, looks like there's a bed for each of us. Maybe we have ourselves a nap.
A nice little long rest.
Nothing could go wrong with that.
Maybe not.
as you say that, you hear a voice in your head, except for it's different. It sounds kind of like the guy that hired y'all to do this, and it just says,
Oh, okay.
"You died, and you won't live to see the morning."
Well, I say we don't sleep now, hearing that. I think,
Yeah, it kind of made it sound a lot worse than I was picturing.
yeah,
It's just, it's not often we get a bed to sleep in, and I was all
it's true. It
excited.
does look very comfy, brother. And I'll make you a promise. After this job, I'll buy us a bed somewhere.
Kramos gets one of like the down comforters and just stuffs it into his vest of holding.
Yes, brother. Take the cursed
You
goose
are
down.
absolutely welcome to just pilfer all the blankets. And eventually you find your way back to the
Okay.
entrance to the master bedroom.
Oh.
It's huge. It's like this
Oh.
entire space is the master bedroom. Like there's probably a bathroom in there somewhere. And this building does have bathrooms in places. I just didn't actually mark any of them. They
Oi!
exist.
I need to have myself a shite. Be right back, lads.
Did we open the door and see the master bedroom?
Yes, I'm imagining you
Okay.
after Kramos is done taking care of his business in another bathroom. You walk into the master bedroom, and it's large, very well decorated, but it also looks like no one's been in there for a while. And also, you're looking around, it looks like there was a fight in there. And it's like a brief second where something like flashes over your eyes, and it's like you're in someone else's memories. You get bits and pieces of things, and you basically gather that the woman was not who she appeared to be. She took up the disguise of someone else to win over the man's affections because he was rich and wealthy. And once she had him thoroughly charmed enough, she began doing some very not great things to help extend her power and her life. Such as getting into necromancy, because she eventually becomes a vampire, and all the disappearances were from when she was feeding off people, and it took him a long time to come out of the charm, and by that time she'd already turned him. So they had a massive falling out because he didn't want any more innocent people to die. So during the fight, at this point, they both become pretty powerful. He forced her to never again leave the house, that she would be trapped there forever alone. And in response, she cursed him that life will be bound to mine. You will share my curse and only I can take your life. He has been trapped there with her. She would lure innocent people in who were walking by and trick them into coming in and feed off of them, and he couldn't stop her from doing that. So what he started doing was finding some more reprehensible people to do that too. But even so, she would still sometimes bring in innocent people who had just happened to be walking by or hoping for a warm place to stay. So you hear a voice in your head, this is what I'm trying to stop. I'm sorry I tricked you, but I couldn't tell you anything.
I'm sorry, did you just
Please.
imply that we're reprehensible?
No, not at all. I think you may possibly be strong enough to stop her or at least slow her down. I can't risk her becoming stronger and get free because there's no telling what she'll wreak upon this world. Unfortunately, the only way out for you is you kill her or die.
Oh.
Well, if that's what needs to be done, then that's what needs to be done.
Hey, I'm a businessman, and that's particularly my business.
And breaking doors.
Doors and spines.
Doors and spines. That's the name of our gang now. Excuse me, Mr. Voice. Is there anything? No, no, I'm not going to ask that question. I don't like that question. I think we should head down. We found a trapdoor in the back storage room. If everyone okay with trying to kill this terrible, terrible person, I say we head that way.
Sounds good.
Kramos jumps off the edge.
Dude, I was just about to do that same thing.
Kramos waits for Varus, and then they both hop over and hero landing.
Ezra pulls another patch and slaps a ladder down.
What? It is to land without using the ladder. Not to necessarily turn my nose at the ladder, but more of like, ooh, hero landings. I want them.
Okay.
Kramos looks
Varus,
back
I
at
know
the
you have
ladder.
the winged boots. Kramos and Andrew, roll me a dex throw to see if you stick this landing.
Oh, hell
Awesome.
yeah.
I have this thing called slow fall also, so I reduce any damage.
That's gonna be a 20. That's gonna be a 21.
It's going to be a 15.
You have a very epic pose. You
25.
have a slightly less epic pose. You also have a very epic pose.
I land on my
Thanks
hands.
to slow fall, no one shatters or shins, so it's all good.
Excellent.
All right, before we go, does anyone need healing?
I mean, on a scale of 1 to 64, I'm about 59. I think I'll be all right.
I think you were the only one that got hit so far.
I mean,
It's my place.
I can heal you a bit.
By all means, I won't say no to a bit of healing. Spot of the good stuff.
All right. Okay. So, at that point, I go over to Kramos as I take the stairs to the first floor because.
She's having that conversation from
Yeah.
up there, and then she's just like, all right, and walks away.
Is Ezra's ladder.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So.
Ezra's ladder, and then climb back down Ezra's ladder. So I've made good use of both things.
Yeah.
So I take out my book, my tome, and you see on the cover is the outline of a female drow. In front of a circle. It looks like the moon from its sort of texture. And in her hands, she is holding a longsword. So I open the book and I cast Healing Light. Well, my the ability Healing Light. And so let's see. A pool of D6s. Dice and pool. You said yeah. So a silver light that you can't fully tell where it's coming from. Well, you can tell it emanates from the book, really. Glows at me and then hits Kramos. And you are healed for 3 hit points.
Hey, thanks. I think that's gonna heal nice.
Yeah, Anyone want to roll religion or maybe history?
Oh yeah, does anyone want to roll?
Sure.
I guess it'd be religion.
Like, Varys, you
18.
might know
Everyone there?
something.
Oh, I got a 10.
Yeah.
It looks familiar, but I have no idea why.
Does that say, would you know anything about, like, Drow Pantheon? I don't know if your Drow parent was actually active or anything, but...
I feel like, me and Alexis were actually talking about this last night. I feel like he would have tried to learn as much as he can, because it's like, no, you're not your enemy, but like, this is the one of the groups that like abandoned him. So it's like, why was I not okay? So I think he would know, but he forgot in this moment. Was not so great.
I was about to say, would you like to roll with advantage because you've specifically researched this?
It's still a 10.
Our family would like to ask.
Same number.
The 18. I don't know if that made it in, but I spent some time in religious study.
And you would think for a moment and remember seeing this symbol on some temples above ground, which is odd because the woman is a drow. It's basically a silver design, so you can see the outline of the moon, her hair, which is silver and goes about to her feet, and then you can see the outline. It's a silver outline of her, but except for like her eyes and maybe details of her face, the rest of it is just the black cover. And then she has the sword, which is also silver. So, thinking of this...
You decide how that's pronounced.
Yeah.
So, Andrew, when you see this symbol, you recall seeing it before in some temples that you've passed by on your travels. This is a symbol of the goddess Eilistrae. She is the drow goddess of beauty, song, dance, freedom, moonlight, swordwork, and hunting. Unlike the other drow gods and goddesses, she wants to bring the drow to the surface to have them work together with the other races and for all the races to live in harmony.
He's not super picky or nosy about people and whatever religion they choose to follow. So he recognizes it and he's like, okay.
She sounds real cool, honestly.
Yeah, really bad.
Yes, she's the one random chaotic drow god.
I love it.
Just like above the table last night, you're like, do you know much about Drow Pantheon? And I was like, they're pretty evil and like messed up.
Hey guys, Brianna here with a quick message for all of you lovely members of the TTRPG community. We have a group of friends who needs your help. Go on Twitter and check out Homebrew Queens at Homebrew Queens and see what you can do to help these lovely ladies bring their father back to the table. Let's show them what community is all about.
Hello. We are here today to tell you about Modified Role. What you're about to hear are real-life testimonies of people who have been affected by Modified Role. None of the people you're about to hear are paid actors. I mean, they are actors, but we're not paying them.
Before I found Modified Role, I never knew of the foe that plagued humanity for generations, Rivers.
Before Modified Role, I didn't know there were dice with more than 6 sides.
Well, before I found Modified Role, I thought fantasy role-playing was something you did in the bedroom.
Before Modified Role, I didn't know rolling dice could be so dangerous.
Before Modified Role came along, I couldn't tell the difference between a D20 and a tennis ball. Needless to say, it's changed my life.
Before Modified Role, I was shocked when someone would offer to show me their minis.
So, with so many lives changed through Modified Role, don't you think it's time you gave it a try?
Modified Role has not been proven to improve life in any measurable metric and cannot be held responsible for any detrimental impact caused by listening to the podcast.
Modified Role takes no responsibility for loss of bards, dwarves, or animal companions.